What is up guys, it's RJ here, and today it's going to be a fun one. So with me I have the newest budget king on the block, the Pixel 4a, and we are now going to be putting this in a speed test up against this beast right here, the OnePlus 8 Pro. So you're most likely scratching your head wondering why even conduct this speed test, because obviously the 8 Pro is going to win. But we're talking about the Pixel 4a. The Pixel 4a comes with stock Android, which is one of the best optimized operating systems in the world. So I want to find out if the Pixel 4a can at least even keep up with the OnePlus 8 Pro. Just quickly before we do continue, if this is your first time here on this channel, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys could leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel, because I do have a ton of Pixel 4a content coming up, and I will be releasing my OnePlus 8 Pro 6 months later review, so stay tuned for that. Just in case some of you out there did forget, let's quickly recap on the specs. The Pixel 4a does contain the mid-tier 765 chipset along with 6GB of RAM. Meanwhile, this variant of the 8 Pro does come with the Snapdragon 865 chipset along with 12GB of RAM. So you guys can see right off the bat, the OnePlus 8 Pro is an absolute animal. The Pixel 4a is running Android 11, the newest version of Android. Meanwhile, the OnePlus 8 Pro is running Android 10. I still haven't updated to Android 11 yet, just because it's not available here in Canada. So without further ado, let's begin the speed test. Okay, so let's start off by running a quick Geekbench test between the Pixel 4a and the OnePlus 8 Pro. Now, if you guys do want to grab some popcorn, now would be the perfect time to do so. So go get that popcorn and come back. Okay, so the Geekbench scores are in, and as you guys can see, there is a tremendous difference between these two phones. The multi-core score on the OnePlus 8 Pro is more than double of that found on the Pixel 4a. So we're dealing with some serious power here when you talk about the OnePlus 8 Pro. But nonetheless, let's see how the Pixel 4a holds up against the OnePlus 8 Pro in an actual speed test. In terms of security, both of these devices do use fingerprint scanners, but they are quite different in the way that they implement them. So the Pixel 4a does have a physical reader on the back, while the OnePlus 8 Pro has an optical in-display fingerprint scanner found in the screen. The 8 Pro, I find, does have one of the more reliable fingerprint scanners that I've tested this year. Like on the OnePlus 8 Pro, this fingerprint scanner is just so unreliable that I have to resort to using facial recognition. Like, it is just slow, you have to push down on it, and it does take a while to open up. And it doesn't make any sense to me because this is an ultrasonic fingerprint scanner as opposed to an optical fingerprint scanner, but the optical one seems to be more reliable and much faster. So I do find that quite strange. The Pixel 4a's fingerprint reader is found on the back, and this thing is ridiculously fast. It may actually be faster than the OnePlus 8 Pro's fingerprint reader, but let's put it to a speed test. Okay, I think the OnePlus 8 Pro was faster by a bit. That was the Pixel 4a that time. One more time. One more time. So they are about even in terms of unlocking capabilities. Both of these devices are connected to the exact same Wi-Fi network, and all we're gonna do is clear up all the background apps. So close all the apps there, and let's close all the apps there, go all the way to the side and clear all. And now we'd have both of these phones with no background apps running, so we can conduct a proper speed test. Let's start off by opening up some stock apps first, because in general, stock apps are really well optimized for their respective UIs. Obviously, with the OnePlus 8 Pro, it is running the Oxygen OS skin, whereas of course the Pixel 4a is running stock Android. So let's start off by opening up some stock apps, and then we will go from there. We'll start off with the stock calculator. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, so the OnePlus 8 Pro was faster as expected. We'll put that in the background. Let's go for the stock camera app. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, so once again, the OnePlus 8 Pro was faster, but the Pixel 4a was slightly behind. Now let's try opening up the calendar. So 1, 2, 3, go. So about the same right there. So I would say it was about the same, but the OnePlus 8 Pro did come out faster by just an inch. Let's open up the stock clock app. So the stock clock app, 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, so the OnePlus 8 Pro was a lot faster there. Let's open up the stock messaging app. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, so of course the OnePlus 8 Pro was faster once again. So we are seeing a significant difference in speed between these two devices. Of course, you do have to keep in mind that the Pixel 4a is a $350 device, while the OnePlus 8 Pro goes for close to $1,000. So that is very, very important to keep in mind. So this is essentially almost 3 times the price of the Pixel 4a. Let's open up the settings menu. 1, 2, 3, go. So once again, it was way faster on the OnePlus 8 Pro. Put that in the background. Let's try opening up one more stock app and then we will go on to social media apps. Now let's open up the gallery. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, so it was way faster once again on the OnePlus 8 Pro. Let's move on to some social media apps like Twitter and Instagram, and then we'll go from there. So let's open up Twitter. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, so it was once again faster on the OnePlus 8 Pro, but the Pixel 4a did quite a good job of keeping up. If you guys could just quickly follow me over on Twitter, that would be greatly appreciated. I am trying to get to 400 followers. Currently I'm sitting at around 370, 337. So follow me over at RJ Tech and that would be greatly appreciated. Let's open up Instagram. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, so right there, it was faster on the Pixel 4a. So for the first time ever, the Pixel 4a did win a speed test. Now let's go with Netflix. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, so it looks like the OnePlus 8 Pro was faster once again. Let's try opening up the Starbucks app. Where is Starbucks? 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, so once again, it was way faster on the OnePlus 8 Pro. So this seems to be a trend. It seems like the OnePlus 8 Pro is the much faster phone, like of course we expected it to be, since it is running the Snapdragon 865 chipset along with 12 gigabytes of RAM. Let's open up a few more and then we'll make our way over to games. Let's open up this wallpaper app that I got both of these wallpapers from. It is called Backdrop. So 1, 2, 3, go. So it looks like the Pixel 4a came out on top there. So right now the Pixel 4a has 2 points. Meanwhile, the OnePlus 8 Pro is just smashing it and I lost count. We'll do one more and then we'll open up games and run some RAM management tests to see how they run in the background. And we'll end this off by opening up Ring. Ring is my front door camera, so let's try opening up that. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, so the OnePlus 8 Pro was faster. It was able to pull up the feed faster. And as you guys can see, yep, the feed is even faster on the OnePlus 8 Pro. You can even zoom in on this and check my car out. Right now, we are in my favorite editing app for mobile. This is an app called InShot. And what we have right now is the exact same file. They're both 1 minute long. And we're gonna do an export test and see which one comes out on top. Of course, it is gonna be the OnePlus 8 Pro, but I wanna see exactly how much faster the OnePlus 8 Pro is when you do compare it to the Pixel 4a when it comes to exporting speeds. So let's go ahead and begin. 1, 2, 3, go. We're gonna click save. We're gonna both export these in 1080p quality. Okay, and as you guys can see, the OnePlus 8 Pro is almost done. And the Pixel 4a is actually not doing that bad. It is about 15 seconds behind, I believe. And it is almost done. And there we have it. So pretty impressive on the Pixel 4a's part. But the OnePlus 8 Pro, as you guys saw, was an absolute beast in that department. It exported it in like maybe 2 seconds, which is just insane because this is a 1 minute HD 1080p clip. So really impressed by the OnePlus 8 Pro. Let us continue the speed test by opening up one of my favorite games for mobile, Call of Duty. So 1, 2, 3, go. I did press the Call of Duty mobile on the OnePlus 8 Pro a bit later, but it doesn't seem to matter. Yep, we are already in on the OnePlus 8 Pro, and the Pixel 4a is still loading. Let's open up a really graphic intense game and a really big file, Asphalt 9. 1, 2, 3, go. So we can see that the OnePlus 8 Pro did begin faster. It's already in the loading screen. And we're already in the game. And the Pixel 4a is still loading. Okay, and now we're in the game. So it wasn't that big of a difference, but as you guys can see, it was a pretty significant difference when you are comparing the two. But based on like real world usage, when you're using the Pixel 4a just by itself, you're not going to really notice that loading speed difference. Let's open up one more game and then we'll conduct our RAM management test. So we'll open up Temple Run. 1, 2, 3, go. And the OnePlus 8 Pro is already loaded and we are into the game's main menu. And the Pixel 4a was slacking behind by quite a bit actually. So let's just put all these apps in the background and we'll conduct our RAM management test and see if they're still open in the background or if any apps have crashed. Okay, so let's open up Asphalt 9 in the background. So both of them actually restarted, which is pretty interesting, and the Pixel 4a just crashed. Let's keep going. Let's open up the Play Store. Yep, the Play Store seems to be fine. Let's keep going. Let's open up. See if Twitter is still running in the background. Twitter. Yep, Twitter seems to be fine on both of these devices. Let's keep going. Let's open up InShot. Yep, InShot is fine. Let's try opening up my camera feed. And the Pixel 4a did have to restart the app right there. Meanwhile, the OnePlus 8 Pro did a good job of running it in the background. So the lack of RAM does seem to be an issue with the Pixel 4a. And let's just conclude this RAM management test by opening up. Let's open up the Starbucks app and see if it does restart. Yep, once again, the Starbucks app did restart on the Pixel 4a. So there does seem to be sort of like a RAM management issue with the Pixel 4a, just because it does have the older Snapdragon chipset and 6 GB of RAM. Let me just open up some websites and show you guys how fast they run. So let's go to realgm.com, which is like one of my favorite basketball websites of all time. 1, 2, 3, go. So the OnePlus 8 Pro did open up faster. I'm not sure if you guys can tell on camera or not, but the OnePlus 8 Pro is just a much smoother and more fluid device. This is a 120Hz display. Meanwhile, the Pixel 4a has a 60Hz display, but like you can tell, like it's just more jittery on the Pixel 4a. Meanwhile, the OnePlus 8 Pro is just so smooth. Okay, so that was a very interesting speed test. Of course, as we expected, the OnePlus 8 Pro did come out on top a majority of the times. I believe only 2 apps opened up faster on the Pixel 4a, but that could just be an anomaly. In my opinion, this was actually a very fun speed test. We got to see a budget mid-ranger that's running stock Android go up against the OnePlus 8 Pro, which is one of the best smartphones on the market right now if you are looking for an Android. If you guys love this speed test, please do consider leaving a like down below and subscribing to the channel. I'll leave you guys with my Note 20 Ultra versus the OnePlus 8 Pro speed test. If you guys are interested in checking that out, go click on this video card right here. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to flex with your tech.